Hello, I'm Regas Sager.
And I'm Deshanel Sager.
And we're Wrecked and Certified. We are so glad to be back here today in the BD Local Studios.
Glad to be back.
Been a minute, and I know our last podcast we talked about ripping off the Band-Aid, and we're back with no Band-Aid. So we're in good shape. I want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, the Hanukkah, the Kwanzaa, the whole 9 yards, because we are in the Yuletide season.
Yes, and we just had the thankful season pass by, but let's not forget about that. Let's continue that thankful attitude onward to the next year, and let's be thankful. So with that being said, we are talking about being thankful on today. So I was looking up the word thankful, and
yes.
What does it mean? It means to be pleased or relieved, to show gratefulness. And I was just thinking about that. I was like, yes, in my life, in our life together, since we've been together, I think that as I've grown, as I get older, I become more thankful. I think when you're in a younger state, that you're not as thankful. And I'm not saying that for everyone. But for me, I don't think I was as thankful for things in life as I am now. I know that sometimes life experiences, and you can say that too, babe, it creates a more thankful attitude. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. Because when you look at it from this perspective, I mean, we've been talking about how the world has changed this year, and there's been a lot of climactic, a lot of trauma, a lot of hurts, a lot of painfulness going on this year. And sometimes, we get abrasive and we start looking at things from the wrong perspective, and we become ungrateful sometimes, and we're not as thankful. I am so thankful for my wife for putting up with me and all the things that I've gone through this year, et cetera, the ups and the downs, et cetera. And she's been my right-hand person, and just being, just wanted to say I'm really appreciative of you, baby, and I really wanted to say that I'm really thankful for you, and I'm grateful for you, and appreciate you. And sometimes even in our relationships, we take each other for granted because we think that, oh, they're always going to be there, or I'll see her after work, or she's calling again, or he's calling again. But sometimes we have to step back because there are some people that have experienced loss this year, and they wish they had the nagging wife or the forgetful husband or whatever it is. They're gone because of this pandemic situation. And so we wanted to pause just at the top of this podcast to say, hey, look, you know what? If you have not reached across the aisle to say thank you to somebody that has, reached out to you, or somebody that has done something for you, maybe it's your employer, maybe it's your husband or your spouse or whatever, or a good friend or somebody that you haven't, reached out to in a while, but they've done something for you way back when and you weren't as appreciative or thankful, pick up the phone, shoot them a text, FaceTime, whatever, and say, you know what, I appreciate you and I'm thankful for you.
I was going to say that thankfulness, I believe, is a two-way street. You have to give, and then you also have to learn how to receive. So with the giving, you're speaking about in relationships, and I know in our relationship, and thank you, I appreciate the words that you said about being thankful for me.
You pay me later. I'm kidding.
I'm very thankful for you, but Regas has a way of showing his gratitude towards me, and thankfulness, you express it when it's not expected, and I know he does that a lot with me, and I try to do that with him as well. But one of the things that he does, he always comes to me when it's so unexpected, and he says, babe, I just want to let you know that I'm thankful for you, I'm grateful for you, and I appreciate all the things that you do. And I mean, sometimes he catches me off guard because, when people say that they're thankful for you, sometimes you step back and you're like, what do they want? There's something behind that thankfulness, but each and every time that he does it, there's nothing behind it. He's always just saying, I just want to say thank you. And I kind of pause and I look at him and I know that he's sincere about it and it's heartfelt and it's coming from truly that place of gratitude. And I love when he does that. And, you know, early in our relationship, we used to give cards to each other. You know, he used to always come and either tuck a card under my pillow. Where my card at, babe? Where my card at? I ain't received a card in a long time.
I got to go to Hallmark.
But he used to put a card under my pillow and just say, and the card would, you know, just be like, I'm thankful for you. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. But it's just those little things that encourage and help your relationship to grow and to blossom, and vice versa. You know, I try to do those little things for him as well. But just in relationship wise, you know, just to do those little things to say those unexpected things to keep that relationship fresh, to keep that relationship new, even with friends and family. I know that, you know, I have people that are special in my life, and just like Regas stated, just send them a text. Let them know that you're thankful for them, you're grateful for them, and let them know that you care about them. So.
And especially now, with this social distancing and pandemic and everything going on, you know, the various restrictions on, you know, meeting in large groups because the fear of, you know, catching the virus, etc. It is especially important now that we connect even more. And we have so many great digital platforms to connect. We have Zoom and, you know, and Skype and FaceTime and, you know, the list goes on in order for us to connect and stay connected with each other. And sometimes, you know, I like I said, I reach out to a couple of my older friends here and there and just to check in on them and just to say, hey, look, man, I'm just wanted to say, hey, I really appreciate you. If you need anything, et cetera. That goes such a long way where there's so many individuals that are been isolated for one reason or another. And a little note, a little text, or a little phone call goes such a long way, especially at this time of the year. They say it's the most wonderful time of the year, but it's not most wonderful for those that have lost, you know, a loved one, a spouse, a parent, a friend, a brother, or sister. And so our hearts go out to those individuals that have suffered in silence or that have, you know, experienced that loss. And now they're going through this season for the first time without that special loved one. And so our hearts go out to you. And for those of you that know individuals that have experienced that, you know, shower them with a little bit of love and a little bit of attention and let them know that you're thinking about them and you're grateful for them and you're thankful for the relationship that you have with them. Trust me, it goes a long way. I know with the hustle and bustle with Christmas and going out shopping and this, that, and the other, take a pause for just a moment and do something out of the norm, because everybody's trying to figure out, you know, what's going under the tree if you know, in that avenue or in that lane. But at the end of the day, you know what? We are people and people need people. And we need to interact to some degree or another, whether if it's not in person, we need to make sure that we still keep those lines of communication open.
Regas had an auntie, she's passed away, but one of her things that she used to always say is to give people their flowers while they're living. In other words, show them that you're grateful for them while they're living, because once they're gone, you can't tell them that you're thankful for them or you're appreciative of them. You may be able to say it at their funeral or to their family members, but if you never had the opportunity to say that to that individual, then, you know, really shame on us and shame on you for, you know, not taking the time to say, hey, I'm thankful for you. I'm appreciative of you, even if you've had, and I always tell my son this, and I'm in that process of really teenagers. They have that, what's the word? The self,
Well, I mean, they're self-centered.
They're very self-centered.
It's all about them.
It's all about them and what they can receive and what they can get. But I'm trying to teach my son how to be more grateful, how to be more thankful, how to be more appreciative. And even with his coaches, he plays sports, and I tell him, with your coaches, make sure you tell your coach, hey, thank you. Thank you for taking the time out to, be my coach, show me the things that I need to do, but just having that overall attitude of gratefulness and thankfulness, and learning how to give back, not always just expecting to receive. But the biggest thing in life is giving back. And it just feels so good to give back. And that goes back to that two-way street. When you're giving to people, it makes you feel good. And when you're giving to them and they reciprocate it and they say thank you, and you see the thankfulness all over them, and it just gives you a whole different feeling, and it makes you want to give more. What can I do to give more and give back for all that I have? And if I'm blessed, why can't I bless somebody else?
Right. I believe that what you said there is so important. There's an old proverb that says it is blessed to it's more blessed to give than it is to receive. And I think that is so indicative. And I like the commercials that I've seen here as of late, far as thanking the first responders, the people on the front lines that are dealing in this pandemic. I think it's important that we continually give back. And it may not be on the level of superstar status, or, you make millions of dollars and you're giving all this away or whatever, but it's the little things that you do for people that are so impactful. We think it's the big things. We think it's, oh my God, I got to give my wife, a big house or a bigger car or this, that, and the other. It's the little things that really resonate within someone's spirit, or when they're inside their psyche, that goes, you know what? They took the time to thank me. They took the time to give back to me. They took the time to appreciate me. That is, we talked about this on several podcasts ago about paving it forward and doing random acts of kindness, etc. And I think that's important that we still keep that mantra or that mindset as we go through this Christmas season. Because so many people are just it's a land grab. Well, whatever I can get, I'm going to get to catch the sale. I'm going to catch this and whatever, Amazon or wherever you're shopping. And it's all about getting. But you know what? Let's be all about giving. And whatever that giving is to you, then do that, because giving is much greater than receiving. It really is, because your endorphins go off, you have a better disposition, you have a smile on your face. And I'm going to pivot here because we've been talking about being grateful, but I'm going to talk about 5 things as we pivot here to do during the Christmas season to keep yourself cheerful. Because we all want to be cheerful. They say, like I said, it's the most wonderful time of the year. But in spite of loss, in spite of pain, in spite of grief, and in spite of fear and the whole 9 yards, I still believe that during this time of the year that we can be not only grateful and thankful, we can certainly be cheerful. So here are 5 things to help you
What's those 5 things, babe?
Cheerful. 1, it's real simple. Simply smile. Just smile. Show those show those white teeth and be happy. Just smile and be happy. That song, be happy, etc. Another thing that is going to keep you cheerful, don't complain.
Sometimes that's hard to do.
I know, and I want you to interject here.
And I'm going to go back to your first one, smiling. I know we're in the season of wearing masks.
But you can smile with your eyes.
And I miss that. Yeah, even if you do a smile, speak to someone. Say, hello, how was your day? How are you doing today?
Yep.
It may be a stranger, but sometimes they just may need that little, just to check in with them and say, hey, how are you doing today? And that may make their day.
And you know what? And you know what? Even with that, because sometimes you go in the store and I know everybody's, real cautious now and they're wearing their mask and everything. And they'll say, "Hey, how's it going?" And, they're like, "Ooh, you're talking to me. You're within 6 feet or whatever." That's okay. Don't take it personally. Don't get offensive because everybody's trying to watch their own porch. But you know what? I would rather put off that as being, hey, I'm being impressionable. I'm
being
saying friendly. And if they don't respond, hey, that's on them. I'm doing my thing. I'm gonna be me. And you know what? Part of being cheerful is smiling. And I want you to go back to last Sunday and talk about the incident that happened to us that caused us a little bit of, not so blissful.
I was going to get to that. But
this is a great place to interject it right now because instead of smiling at the time, it was a little bit of a Debbie Downer, but we didn't let that stop us.
Yes. So last Sunday, when you go to church, you don't think that, hey, anything's going to happen. I'm going to church, and I went into church and I came out and somebody came up to me and they were like, "Hey, was your window broken in your truck when you got to church?" And I'm like,
We were looking for a miracle. Yes, it was. We were looking for a miracle. God was going to put that window back, Of course not.
No, it wasn't broken. So I go over and somebody broke into the truck. And I'm always a stickler I'm always on Regas. "Oh, did you leave whatever on the seat?" And so I'm one of those people. I didn't leave anything on the seat. So nothing was out to prompt them to break in the truck. They just broke in the truck, went through the glove compartment, went in the middle compartment, and stole out the middle compartment. Luckily, I don't keep anything too valuable besides my tape measure that I want back in the truck.
She's a tomboy. Thank God she didn't have a hammer in there because otherwise it would have been a real long Sunday afternoon.
I want my tape measure back. No, anyways. So they didn't steal anything of value, but with that being said, I wasn't upset about it. It was just the fact that why would you bust out my window and so I was like, okay, it is what it is. But as the days kind of went on and I was driving home, and so I was like, I told my son, we're going to roll around the block and see if we see somebody walking down the street with my stuff. And so my son goes, "Mommy, if you see somebody, what you going to do?" And I was like, so he started to put things into perspective. And because my attitude started, you start dwelling on it, you start thinking about it, and you start getting mad about it. And he was like, and he brought me back to that thankful attitude. He says, "Mommy, did they steal anything of value?" And I was like, no, not really. And he goes, "Do you have the money to pay for the window?" And I just stared at him because, sometimes when people are right, you just don't want to admit that they're right. And so
out of the mouth of babes.
And so I was like, yeah, you know what? He's right. He's right. Why am I getting upset about something that, is replaceable? It could have been worse. My whole truck could have been gone. Whatever. I could have been running up and I could have been like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And they could have, I could have been injured. But luckily, none of that happened. And I'm thankful for that. So you have to, like we said last week or the week before, making lemons out of lemonade. I'm giving those lemons. What am I going to do with them? Now, I'm going to put on that thankful attitude and act like and be thankful that it could have been worse, but it wasn't. So that was the attitude that I have. But, I want to get back to touch on something that you said about giving. And sometimes when you give, sometimes people aren't thankful. And they're not receptive of things like that. So I wanted you to just rewind just a little bit and touch on that. When you get that person or that attitude that's not thankful when you give to them.
So you have to understand that when you give something to somebody, one, you're doing it with the right posture and you're doing it with the right attitude. Because if you're looking for someone to reciprocate or respond back to you based on your expectations, you're always going to be disappointed. So the giver, in my opinion, if it's done or if it's given in the right tone, regardless of what the other person's response is going to be, you've done your job as the giver.
Exactly.
And when they receive it and they go, oh, I didn't want this, or I didn't need this, or, I don't need your comments, or I don't need your praise, or, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's on them. But as long as you did it with sincerity and trueness of heart, you're going to be fine. And whatever they give back to you, or whatever that response is going to be, it will repel off of you like water coming off of a duck's back, because you've done it in the right fashion.
Exactly. I wanted you to touch on that. And
absolutely.
Also, with that, I wanted to say is when you give, don't expect anything back. Just give from your heart, and don't look for any pats on the back. Don't look for any accolades. Don't look for any of that. Don't even really look for them to show any type of gratitude, because sometimes, like I said, some people don't show that gratitude or how you wanted them to respond. Sometimes people don't respond to you how you'll be like, oh, I gave them this and I gave them that, and they didn't even say thank you. Well, okay, then you had an ulterior motive to your giving.
Yeah, because giving shouldn't be done with that type of persona, with that type of attitude, because you're doing it for you. Not only are you giving it, but you want it reciprocated back to a certain level or expectations, and you'll be disappointed more times than not when you do it that way. Just do it out of love. Do it out of gratitude. Do it from your heart, and you're going to be fine.
Okay, so get back to your numbers. Right. Sorry, we sidetracked.
Sidetracked just a little bit. That's okay. Pivot back. So the first thing to keep yourself cheerful during this season is one, smile. Just smile and be happy.
Yeah.
Be happy for the things that you have. And you know what? Be happy for the things that you don't have.
Yeah.
Because those things can motivate you to get them. So if you're happy. And like I said, I don't try to get too high. I don't try to get too low. I just try to keep it here.
Even kill.
Yeah, just even kill, exactly. And the next thing, don't complain. If you're going to complain, get it out and do something about it. But if you're just going to complain and complain and complain, and I learned that from my good friends here at the studio. They're like, okay, Reed, that's cool. We charging you on. We got a listening ear, but what you going to do? What you going to do? What you going to do? And so there's a lot of people out there complaining. There was a lady in our church, and she just passed away. She passed away at 101?
103.
103.
Yes.
She passed away at 103 earlier this summer, and she used to say, I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. And so that's okay. You can explain. But you know what? After you explain yourself, do something about it and move on. But a lot of people just stay there. Some people, I run into some people that just love to complain about everything.
And
I mean, it doesn't matter.
You hate to see them coming sometimes.
He's just like, oh, God, give me a rock to hide under. They're coming. They're coming. They just got to complain about everything. That ain't right, or this ain't right. And I'm like, oh,
well, what you doing to make a change?
Exactly. Debbie Downers.
Downers.
So we want to stay clear of those people, because what they'll do, they'll put a drag on you. They're just like a noose around your neck, almost like a mortgage. No, I'm kidding. Which it is. But anyway, the other thing is compliment other people.
Yeah.
Compliment other people. When you compliment someone else, like I said earlier, them endorphins inside of you, it just boosts your confidence.
Yeah.
And when you're complimenting someone that's like, man, I like that shirt. You can't say, man, I like that shirt. No, you got to say, man, I like that shirt. It really sends off that vibe, that good feeling vibe. So compliment
guys
others.
can compliment guys.
I do it all the time. I was like, man, I like those kicks. I like that coat, man. I like that cut. I like that clean shave. Whatever. You ain't funny, or whatever. I mean,
sometimes
when
guys,
there,
they say they have a problem with complimenting guys or other females. You can compliment a female, another female. It doesn't have to be like you're trying to holla at her.
Yeah,
something.
and even so, then hey, that's your game. So, but anyway. And so compliment others. I mean, that gives off such a great vibe. You can't compliment somebody being down. If you're always, a negative person doesn't compliment. They pull you down. Look at him. Look at her. They think they are all that. That's not a compliment. That's a
Before you move on
down.
with compliments, when someone
you gonna give me one?
Babe,
Then we're moving on.
You
Oh, I'm
always
kidding.
look good. But when
Look
you
at
give
you.
somebody a compliment, learn how to receive a compliment.
Yeah.
Just because you give somebody a compliment doesn't mean you have to follow it up. If they say they like your shirt, you don't have to say, "Oh, I like something." You can just say, "Thank you." It's all right. Learn how to say thank you. Learn how to receive as well.
Yeah, and just move on, and because now you're looking like, man, I don't like nothing he got on, so I don't know what to tell you, bro. You know, I mean, no, you just say thank
Look
you.
at toe up
Exactly. Ooh, well, thank you, man. I appreciate, yeah, this is my favorite shirt, and you keep it moving.
Yeah.
But don't try to find something, and then you go, man, I like those shoes, and they run over. you know them heels and seen them last days. So, but complimenting one another or someone else, really what it does, it puts you outside of yourself too.
Yeah.
Because some people are so self-centered where they are so stuck on themselves they can't compliment anybody else.
That's true.
They're like, oh, I know I'm all that, and I don't need.
I know I look good.
Yeah,
I say that to my husband. Sometimes
Yeah.
he compliments me, and I'd be like, "Baby, I already know."
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Well, I don't even know if I need to compliment you anymore."
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, see, so
I do it jokingly.
Yeah, she does, and I do tell that to you, and we have a little running joke there in our domain, but anyway, it works. So compliment. And next thing that you can do is be thankful for those that are positive influences in your life.
Absolutely.
Thank those that are positive influences in your life. It could be your mom, it could be your dad, whoever your superhero is. It could be a teacher, it could be a business associate, those that are in your inner circle. It could be your pastor, it could be your therapist, it could be whatever. But thank those that are positive influences in your life. Because I think so oftentimes, I always I go to my pastor's office and I say, Pastor, I really appreciate you, because every time I want to go this route or I want to take this on as far as a project or whatever, he's always encouraging. He's always giving me advice as to, look at it from this perspective. And of course, my wife, all of these people that are in your inner circle.
Let them know that you're thankful.
Let them know that you're thankful, and just say, hey, look, man, last week when you called me and you gave me that tip on that stock or that cryptocurrency or that real estate deal or that business idea that I had, you endorsed it and you told me to do X, Y, and Z, and here I am today. I am appreciative of people that will spur you on and will lift you up in spite of all of this craziness in our world. We need more of that.
Yes, I have a group of ladies that I associate myself with, and I always let them know that I'm so thankful for them, because they are the most encouraging, most giving, most supportive group of ladies that I know. And I always tell them, I am so thankful to have you in my life. I'm so appreciative of you, and I don't know what I would do if I didn't have them in my circle to cheer, and they're supportive of us as a couple, and they're always there just cheering us on, supporting us, and being there for whatever we need or whatever we're doing, and I'm just so thankful for them.
Awesome. And you tell all that to them tonight. All right. So, and then the last thing, the last thing that we want to do is we want to celebrate. We want to celebrate. And like I said, in spite of this year, in spite of everything going on, take time to celebrate you. Take time to celebrate others. And it doesn't have to be big. It could be intimate. But you know what? Celebrate your life, your health. Celebrate your family, your friends. Celebrate the things you have and you don't have. Celebrate the world. Celebrate that.
Celebrate others.
The whole 9 yards. Celebrate. And, and I think that is so important, because we have lost that element of celebratory ceremonies and things that we're so accustomed to doing because of this pandemic. If it's you and a friend over the phone and y'all both toasting it up on the phone or on FaceTime, celebrate. Find time to celebrate this time, because it's gonna be different, of course. But you know what? You can still find time to celebrate. So as a recap, as we get ready to close out the show, this is so important. I'm gonna recap these real fast, and then I'm gonna let my wife, because she was so into it today. Thank God. I mean, So 5 things to do during Christmas season to keep yourself cheerful. Smile and be happy. 1. 2, don't complain. 3rd thing, compliment others. 4th, be thankful for those that are positive influences in your life. And then lastly, just celebrate. Celebrate. And so, babe, go ahead and wrap us up. Have those parting words.
First of all, I would like to say I am so thankful for those that came out to support the Melanated Market on our last month. We are back again this next Saturday. Join us at the Outlet Collection Mall from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And also, we are having a mitten and hat drive. So bring unused mittens and unused hats. We're giving back, doing that giving back. So come out and join us, please.
Yes.
Anything else, babe?
No, I would just like to say I wish you all the best holiday season.
Be thankful.
This COVID Christmas, it's going to be all right. Celebrate COVID Christmas. If we can, the 3 C's, we're going to do it up big. And you know what? Just celebrate, have fun, enjoy yourself, be safe. On our next podcast, we're going to give you some tips. We didn't get to them today, but that's okay. But anyway, be diligent out there when you're out there shopping. Make sure you lock your cars, put your wallets, inside your coats, do all those different things.
Yes, take everything valuable with you.
Exactly. Make sure your cars are locked. Empty out your front seats and back seat. Put everything in the trunk. Do all those things. Keep yourself safe, healthy. Wear your mask. Keep yourself clean. Keep your hands clean. The whole 9 yards. We're so glad that you tuned in today here at BD Local Studios. And to my friends Sadie and Tim, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Until then, we are wrecked and certified.